Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. Welcome back to another Division 2 video. My name is Prime and today I'm gonna show you all the changes within the gear talents coming with Project Resolve. And there are a few very nice changes. Next to doing more and more damage output, we will get some extra survivability as well. Faster stacks. All of these changes are so incredibly good for the game. And then the question is, will we get a new meta? So without further ado, let's dive right in and let me show you all the changes coming in the next update in February. So just like yesterday, I made a few charts to show you all the changes. I will show you the old description, what it is right now in game, and I will show you the new description of the talent whenever Project Resolve comes out. I have to say, take this a little bit with a grain of salt because it's still the PTS. Things are still subject to change, although I'm not sure if they will change anything from these gear talents. But of course, if you have anything to say about that, hit me up in the comments down below. If you feel like it's a little bit underwhelming or you think this is gonna be so incredibly strong. So let's dive in and let's start with the first chest talent, and that is Intimidate. So Intimidate reads right now, gain 1 stack per second up to a max of 7, and each stack gives you 5% weapon damage to enemies within 10 meters. So we are taking 7 seconds to get up to the max stack, and that will give us 35% weapon damage. The new description will be gain 3 stacks per second up to a max stacks of 9, and each stack gives you 4% weapon damage to enemies within 10 meters. So after the update, we will be at max stacks in 3 seconds instead of that 7 seconds, and we're gaining 1% extra weapon damage, that 36% instead of that 35%. And I feel like this is a great change, especially in the stacks itself. I didn't really want to have more weapon damage. We get 1% more, but it's all about the stacks. It's gonna be such a big difference between 3 and 7 seconds. That's 60% faster than we have right now in the game. And then of course we have the perfect version of Intimidate as well. What reads, gain 1 stack per second up to a max of 8, and each stack gives you 5% weapon damage to enemies within 10 meters. So after 8 seconds we are at max stacks, and the max stacks is 40% weapon damage. With the new talent it will be 3 stacks per second up to a max of 10, and each stack gives you 4% weapon damage to enemies within 10 meters. So the weapon damage will stay the same at 40%, but again this will be close to the 3 seconds to get up to the max stacks instead of that 8 seconds it was before. So again, a great change. I'm glad they didn't really do anything with the weapon damage, but it's all about the stacks, and this is gonna have a great spot in the new meta, especially if you're running around with an SMG build and always being in the faces of your enemies. So for our next pieces of gear, we're going over the Foundry Bulwark gear set. They changed the Foundry itself, they changed the chest talent, and they changed the backpack talent. So for the Foundry itself, that will be makeshift repairs. Whenever you or your shield take damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds. After the update, that will be whenever you or your shield take damage, 25% of that amount is repaired to both over 10 seconds. So we're gaining an extra 5% healing for ourselves and for our shield, and it will be 5 seconds faster. I think this is a great change. Although the Foundry was already pretty damn strong, so I'm very curious if we can even die with the Foundry Bulwark build after the update. Because, of course, like I said, the chest talent and the backpack talent will change as well. Starting with the backpack talent, and that is Process Refinery. Decreases time taken from makeshift repairs from 15 to 10 seconds. And after the update, that will be decreases time taken from makeshift repairs from 10 to 5 seconds. So next to that, we're gaining an extra 5% extra healing for us and our shield. We can now take that to 5 seconds. So within 5 seconds, you are 25% healed. You and your shield. And this is gonna be so incredibly strong. This is so fast. So if you didn't run the backpack, you had 15 seconds. If you will run the backpack after the update, that will be 5 seconds. It's 3 times faster than the normal Foundry gear set. And I think this has a great spot in the new tank build meta. And then jumping over to the chest talent, and that is improved materials. And within the game right now, it reads increases makeshift repairs from 20% over 15 seconds to 30% over 15 seconds. And in the future, after the update, it will read increases makeshift repairs from 25% over 10 seconds to 35% over 10 seconds. So imagine you running around with the backpack and the chest piece talent on the Foundry bulwark. Of course, you're not gonna do that much damage output, but then you and your shield will be repaired for 35% in 5 seconds. So that is such a great boost. Again, I don't know if the chest talent has a spot in the new meta because you still want to do some damage. Maybe you can get that from your backpack talent, but overall most of us will probably be running around with a different chest talent, because still, if you are running around with a tank build, you still want to do some damage, or of course just being the tank itself and just eating all the bullets. For example, in a legendary, trying to fight it with a group, then this tank build can come in clutch. 35% repairs over 5 seconds is quite insane. Then let's jump over to the next chest talent, and that will be Obliterate. And Obliterate will be even more a fan favorite right now, because now it reads critical hits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds. But after the update, that will increase to 10 seconds. So crits increase total weapon damage by 1% for 10 seconds. So we are still at the max stacks of 25. So we can get 25% extra weapon damage, but now for 10 seconds instead of that 5. So if you're doubting to go for Obliterate because you feel like you cannot keep up with the stacks, you'll lose those stacks after those 5 seconds, you don't have to worry about it anymore after the update, because it will go to 10 seconds. And I think this is a great change, and it will even put Obliterate higher on the meta list. All not, is it number 1? That's my question to you. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about Obliterate right now. And of course, this change, I think it's a great addition. And then for the last 2 talents, and that is Unbreakable and Perfect Unbreakable, and these are only changed for PvP. So the normal Unbreakable in-game reads now, when your armor is depleted, repair 50%. And after the update, that will be 40%. So whenever your armor is depleted, repair 40%. Now in the game, the Perfect reads, when your armor is depleted, repair 55%. And after the update, when your armor is depleted, repair 50%. So there is a little small 5% nerf. Again, don't forget, this is only for PvP. This doesn't count for PvE, so don't worry. If you're maining Unbreakable on PvE, don't worry, they're not gonna change anything. This is strictly for PvP only. So yeah, guys, these are all the changes within the gear talents. There are a few other changes in the weapon talents as well, but I will have a separate video for that. And I think there are some great changes. Intimidate can be very fun to play again with it, of course, because those stacks go up way faster than they are right now. Obliterate, of course, will go from 5 to 10 seconds, what is a great change. Foundry gets a huge boost in my opinion, to even get in the more god builds, especially with that straight up tank build. And then of course they have a little change for the PvP side on Unbreakable. So let me know in the comments down below what you think about these changes and what would you like to see changed more. The devs already talked about that they're not gonna change any brand set bonuses anymore, so all the bonuses and all the boosts that we have right now, or that we're getting right now, that will stay the same. They're not changing anything. But what would you like to see for the talent changes? Are there multiple talents that you want to see overhauled? Or you think we're good for now and let's see where this brings us? Let me know in the comments down below, but that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for sticking until the end. You're a freaking legend if you're still here. Make sure to like the video if you liked the video or helped you out in any way or form. And of course, if you're new here or just want to be updated about the Division universe, the Division 2 and the future Division 3, make sure to hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one. PurePrime out.